Nice to see some new faces today. So if you're new and if you haven't gotten your equipment, just do the best you can for today, and hopefully by next week you'll have it all. So this is our at-home tone program. It's a 45-minute resistance band exercise session. We try to touch on all parts of the body. And today we'll be focusing on a lot of back. We're gonna do a lot of back, and then we're gonna break up into two groups. Monica will work on upper body and arms, and I will do legs for about 15 minutes. So decide where you're gonna wanna go. You have plenty of time to think about it, and we'll get going here. So usually we like to start off with a light warm up and stretch. So let us just sit straight up. We're gonna start at our head, and we're just gonna do some head revolutions. Go whichever way you like. First, we'll do about 10 revolutions one way, and then we're gonna go the reverse. Nice and slow, try to go big circles. All right, and reverse. Couple more. All right, move it down to the shoulders. We're gonna do arm circles today. So we're gonna start small, real small. Now slightly expand that circle. And now full diameter, go as big as you can, nice and slow. And let's reverse it, starting real small. Slightly bigger. And let's go full size in reverse. All right. Now let's get one arm across our chest. Pin it up against the chest with our opposite arm. Drop the shoulder down and just hold. And let's switch arms. All right, now I want you to put your hands together forward like you're diving and just open up as wide as you can. Get those hands back behind your back. This is a back warm-up stretch, and then bring them back like a big clap, a straight arm clap. Just nice and slow. Do about 5 of these. We're going to be doing a lot of back moves, so we want to warm that back up properly. And one more. Now we're only going to open up one hand, and we're going to follow that one with our head. So it's going to look like this. Go as far as you can. Follow with your head. You should feel a light stretch in your lower back. And bring it back. And then opposite. The key is to keeping this one hand straight. Always pointing forward. Do a couple more each side. Hold at the very end. All right. And break. Now all we're going to do is bring our chest down to our knees. So bring it down. If you can touch your knees, great. If not, Just go as far as you can. Brief hold and sit back up. Back down. We're going to elaborate on this one a little bit more with our band very shortly. Last one. All right. In our last stretch, I want you to take your left arm, put it on the outside of your right leg, and push against it. So it's going to force your body to turn to the right. Turn as much as you can, keeping your leg straight. So I'm about at 90 degrees now. And I just want you to hold it at the furthest point. Now take your arm behind you and raise it straight up into the sky and hold this position. And release. Now we're going to do the other side. Right arm outside of the left leg. Push against that leg. Hold. Raise the hand behind you straight up. And release. All right. Now I want you to grab a band. Grab one of your heavier ones for the first one. We're going to do a little lower back exercise. We can do this one standing or sitting. If you're able to stand, I recommend doing it standing. The standing version is going to be using our feet as an anchor. We're going to grip that band midway up the shin. Let this hang. You don't want to grab it up here. It's not going to work as well. Halfway up the shin, and we're just going to stand straight up. Then we're going to bend at the waist only and stand up. Bend at the waist and stand up. Those of you in a chair, very similar move. Still going to put the band under your feet, but you're going to grab it a little bit lower, not quite halfway up the shin. You're going to grab it closer to ankles, and you're just going to sit up and down. Sit up and bring that chest back down. So decide which one is right for you. I'm going to be doing this one standing up. My feet are only about 6 inches apart. And we're going to do 10 of these nice and slow. We're going to stand straight up. We're not bending the knees. We're just bending at the waist. And back down. So let's do 10 of these and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. All right, quick break, and we're going to do one more set of those. That's a really good exercise for our lower back and our hamstrings. And then just looking forward, I'm going to be using my lightest band next. So if you want to get a lighter band ready while we wait to do set number 2, go right ahead. And we're going to need handles on that one too. All right, well, here we go. Set number 2. Grabbing it halfway up the shin and standing up. Stretch that band and back down. If you're using a band that's too light, you can always double up and use multiple bands. If you don't have a set of these at home, because you want a good amount of resistance with this move since you're using your whole body to stretch the band. Got 3 more to go. And last one. And rest. All right, we're gonna move on to our light band. We're gonna throw some handles on there. If you don't have handles, you can just do a loop, just like that. This will work. And once again, we could do this move standing or sitting. I'll demonstrate both. I also think it'll be easier standing up just because you won't have to alter how you hold the band. So for this move, I'm going to stand a little bit wider, maybe about 1.5 feet. My palms are going to be down by my knees, and I'm just going to raise my hands up to my shoulders. Let me fix my camera. I just want to raise my hands straight up. That's all that's going on. I'm not doing forward. I'm not bending, doing anything funky here. My hands are down, and I'm just sliding them straight up my body to my shoulders, just like that. This is what a side view looks like.
Just set up.
And the seated version. The seated version, you're probably going to need to take a wider stance on the band. And then you're going to pull up just like that. You can also go between your legs, but most likely you might need to grab that band a little bit lower because the hand is just going to be too much slack and you're not going to get everything out of the movement. So this is what it's going to look like sitting. And we're ready to begin. So choose your position. We're going to do 2 sets of these, and we're going to do 15 because it's really lightweight. So we're going to go a little bit higher on the repetition count here. All right, ready and begin. 1. That's 10, 5 more. If you're following my count. 13, 14, and 15. All right. Do a quick break. We're gonna do 1 more set. Feel free to add resistance too. If this is too light, go up a band if you'd like. I just like to keep this exercise on the lighter side. Personal preference. All right, set number 2. Here we go. Same thing. And let's begin. 1, 2. That's 10, 5 more. And 5. All right, and rest. Okay, so now we are gonna move on to our anchor points. I'll try to do my best to adapt the exercises for those that don't have an anchor point. I'm not positive I can do every single one, but I think I have some ideas. So just bear with us. I'm going to use a medium band for the first few exercises. So I'm going to go with, let's see here, the green one. For me, it's the green one right in the middle. And I'm going to put handles on it. So please get your handles on. My anchor point is down there. For those of you that are new, you're going to get one of these in your package. It's meant for a door. I don't have a good door here, so I just used a gate belt on the bottom of my pillar here, and it seems to work just fine. All right. So what you're going to do if you don't have an anchor, you're going to have to utilize your legs. And most of them are going to have to happen with your legs straight out because you really want something to pull against. Or you can hook it up. You know, if you have a pole, you could do something like this. Just watch your edges. If you have anything sharp, it could break the band, but this could work too. All right, so first exercise, I'm gonna throw my band in the loop. We're gonna sit facing the anchor. Oh, whoops. And for this one, I'm not gonna hold the handles. I'm gonna do a neutral grip just underneath the buckles. So it's gonna look like this. And now from here, I'm just gonna do a forward lean as far as I can. And I'm gonna pull those bands just like that. Get those elbows back, arms all the way out front. That's the move you wanna do. I'll fix my camera so you guys can better see it. All right. This is a move that's typically done from a higher height. And that's why we're doing the forward lean, because we want to target those muscles that we normally pull from a higher position to work. So let's try 10 of these together. Forward lean, and we're pulling. Doing 10. All right, that's 10. We're going to pair this up with another exercise. So they're going to be back to back. We're going to sit in the same position, but this time we're going to grab the handles and we're going to go out. We're going to open our arms out to the side. So this is the move I'm doing. This. Palms facing each other. And we're just going out and back. Out and back. Make sure your band is even, or else you might feel a little resistance on one side. For those of you not using an anchor, what you can do is just put it around your legs, and you're still doing that same motion. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough. And that's what that would look like. So let's finish up that first set, and we're gonna do one more. All right, quick break. Okay, same thing, set number 2. And let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. All right. We're still sticking with this band for the next exercise. Now what I'd like for you to do is hold your band palms up. So we're going to be just like this, arms forward. The key here is don't bend your elbow at all. It should be a straight arm move. And what we're going to do here is just bring our arms back, past our back, forward and back. You should feel your upper back here if you're doing it correctly. Try not to do much rocking. It should only be the arms moving. Just like that. Again, if you don't have the anchor, you could use your feet to do the same thing. All right, let's begin. We're going to do 2 sets of 10 and go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, and 10. All right. 10-second break. We'll go right into set number 2. All right, palms up, arms forward. So at this point, you should have a little bit of resistance. You don't want to be completely like that because you really want something to pull against. So from here, I have a little bit of resistance and I have a lot of resistance back here. All right, arms up and let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Now I'm going to ask you to probably go down to a lower band. I am going to go with my lightest yellow. So I'm going to take my green band off. I'm just going to leave it through the anchor. This next set of exercises is for your rotator cuff. We're only going to do one handle at a time. So I'm attaching both of these hooks to the one, and it's going to look just like that. If you're using a TheraBand, you can probably hook it up on anything with a little bit of weight and just grab it in one hand. Anchor isn't necessary for this one, or this kind of anchor at least. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to sit sideways. So my left arm is here. I'm going to grab it in outside hand. And this is the movement we're going to be doing. It's very gradual. It starts from about 90 degrees until it's straightened out, facing forward. I have my elbow pressed up against my body so it's not flaring out. And it's all we're doing is this external rotation here. It's a really good exercise if you have rotator cuff problems or pain. But we're going to do 15 of these with each arm, and then we'll go into internal rotations. So I got my elbow up against my side and I'm ready. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 14, and 15. And instead of us turning around, we're just going to go right into our other arm and do internal rotations to save some time. So for this one, you're probably going to want to go just a little bit further away from your anchor since that tension changed from here to here. because you want a little bit of tension. And we want to start off in this position instead of straight. This is the finishing move right here. So it's just the opposite of what we're doing. All right, let's try these together. 15 and begin. 1, 2. 8, 9, 10. 3 more. 13, 14, and 15. All right. Now you can turn yourself around. So I'm just going to spin 180. I'm going to start with my right arm doing internal rotation now. So you kind of understand how it goes. We're just doing opposite arms here. Ready, and let's begin. 1, 2, 5, 6, 5 more. 2 more. All right. And now we're going to go to the outside arm, which is our left, doing external. So you're probably going to want to move yourself a little bit closer back to the anchor. And I'm gripping it here with the outside, and we're going to pull, do the external rotation with our left. And let's begin. 1, 2. That's 10, 5 more. Last one. And take a rest. How are we on time? 1:33. Okay. All right. You know what? At this time, we're going to break up into our groups. So hopefully you've thought about what you want to do. If you want to stick with me, we're going to do some leg workouts. And if you want to go with Monica, she usually does the combination of exercises, but I know the arms are a focus with her. So Monica, you want to do the quick
Yep.
pull?
So raise your hand if you would like to come with me. I got it. Amanda, Michelle, Johnny, Paul. Did I miss anyone? Wave at me if I missed you. All right, let me get these rooms going here in a second. All right, you should see an invite from me. And I will see you over there.
All right.
Just a sec.
Those of you staying with me, I'm going to start off with my heaviest band, and I'm going to do this in a seated position. No need for any kind of handles or ankle straps. So once again, if anyone here is new that's with me, usually you get these ankle straps too that hook around your ankles. They're really nice to use when we do these types of exercises, but I don't think we're going to need those today. So the first exercise is going to be a mock leg press, a single leg press. What I'm going to do, I have my big band, the thick one. I'm just going to go over the top of my foot, wrap it around the bottom, and now I have a loop around my foot. And from there, we're going to do just a modified leg press. So I'm going to hold it, pretty close, less than a foot away from the loop, because I really want to work that leg. I'm going to raise it up, and I'm just going to extend it, and keeping my hands, don't let your hands follow your foot. just press against that resistance. You can do this sitting on the ground. This is actually probably pretty good to do on the ground. I'm doing on a chair. And we're just gonna do some leg presses. We're gonna do 15 with each leg. So these are working our quads, our hamstrings, our calves are involved here. Let's do about 10 more together. You really have to fight that resistance with your arms. So you're kind of working everything. Let's do a couple more and we'll switch legs. All right. I'm going to switch over to the left. Same thing, loop over the top. Going to start in this up position and just extend that leg forward. So let's try 15 of these together and begin. About halfway there. Five more. Last one. All right. That's a nice little warm up because it really uses every muscle in our leg there. Now we're going to switch to something lighter in resistance. I'm going to use my red band. My red band is, I think, the second lowest, I believe. So definitely use something middle and down for this move. It's just to get our hips going here. So what we're going to do, those of you using our bands, it's going to be pretty easy. We're just going to go across the top of our legs, go underneath, come back up, making this loop, and then buckle the buckles together, just like that. If you have the TheraBands, you could do the same thing, but you're probably gonna have to knot it on top. Just a single or double knot will work. But we wanna have this double loop just above our knees, bottom of our quad, above our knees. My feet are about 10 inches apart on the ground. So that's what my feet look like. Just in a comfortable seated position. And what we're gonna do here is just fan our knees out as far as they can go and back in. You don't wanna bring them too close. You don't wanna lose that tension. So you always keep that tension here and then just go out and back in. Out and back in. So your knees should never go more inwards than they are. They should be parallel here at the lowest point. Just going out and in. Let's try 15 of these together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, let's keep our loop in place, but this time we're going to slide it down to our ankles. So if you can, I recommend doing this next move standing up. And this is what it's going to look like. I'll show you the seated version as well. I'm just going to slide the loop down to my ankles. And from here, I'm just taking a big step to my right and back. Step to my right and back. And then we're gonna go the opposite way, left and back, and left and back. I'll fix my camera. The key here is to really push yourself with how far you can stretch that band. Our quads, both of our quads are gonna be working probably the most out of anything here. You can go one leg at a time, or you can alternate left, right, left, and right. All right, so we're gonna do 10 with each leg. I'm just gonna go one leg at a time. I think it's kind of easier, but feel free to alternate if you'd like. So here we go. If you need to hold on to something, perfectly fine. And let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So there, primarily we are working the quad, but our hamstrings working, our hips are working. Really nice exercise all around. So let's switch, go the other way. I'm gonna go to my left, and let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. 6, 7, 8, 2 more. 9, and 10. All right, we're gonna do one more exercise that's gonna work our calves. You could do more of these. I'm showing you some exercises. I recommend doing more sets, especially when you work the legs. But our last exercise, I'm gonna grab my thickest band, and I'm gonna stand for this one. It's gonna be really hard to do this in a seated position, so you're probably gonna have to stand. And what I want you to do is stand with the balls of your feet on top of the band. That's going to be important. And then you have the balls of your feet on this one. So what we're going to do is kind of how we did that back exercise in the beginning. I want you to grab it halfway up your shin and stand up. And from here, we're just going to go on our tippy toes and back down. Tippy toes and back down. So the placement is really important of the band so it doesn't get away from you when you go on your tippy toes. And that's why I said it's pretty imperative that you get the front part of your foot on that band. So it's just a small stretch of the band, but it's definitely working our calves here. Let's try to do about 10 of these together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 more. Last 2. 9 and 10. All right, good job, everyone. Looks like the other group is back. Let's unmute